Imagine turning Minecraft Bedrock into a medieval fantasy RPG, a world filled with ancient dungeons, powerful bosses, knights, magic, legendary weapons, and dangerous creatures. But instead of completely changing Minecraft, we're going to build everything around the vanilla game. So today, I'm going to show you my medieval fantasy RPG mod pack for Minecraft Bedrock. And trust me, by the end, Minecraft is going to feel completely different. Let's start with the most important part, the world itself. First, we have Excalibur, which completely changes the atmosphere with its medieval-style textures, while still keeping Minecraft's original charm. Now add better foliage, and the environment becomes much more alive. Leaves, grass, and vegetation have more depth and variation, making forests feel much less repetitive. And then we have dark visuals, which pushes the atmosphere even further, with darker and more dramatic visuals. But visuals aren't everything. Action and stuff brings Minecraft to life with detailed animations and 3D elements, making everything from mobs to everyday actions feel much more satisfying. And for the atmosphere, dynamic surroundings adds environmental sounds that make different places in the world feel much more alive. Even something as simple as walking through a forest feels different. And finally, the Performance Optimizer helps keep this whole experience running more smoothly without being purely focused on lowering visual quality. So now, we have the foundation. A Minecraft world that actually looks and feels like a medieval fantasy world. But looking like an RPG isn't enough. We also need RPG mechanics. That's where levels matter comes in. Instead of XP simply being something you spend on enchantments, you can actually build your character by investing into different abilities and stats. You can specialize your character around things like critical hits, movement, regeneration, vampirism, mining abilities, double jumping, and even necromancy. So your character can actually develop alongside you. Then, we have Java Saturation, which changes the way hunger and regeneration work, making food and saturation much more important during survival. And when it comes to combat, Immersive Combat completely changes the way fights feel. You get things like combos, dodges, and parries, turning combat into something that requires timing instead of simply spamming attacks. The special thing about that addon is that it works perfectly with other addons. And then there's dynamic lighting. You can actually light your surroundings without constantly placing torches everywhere. Even the interface gets an upgrade with the circular hotbar, which fits perfectly with the fantasy RPG style. An RPG needs good equipment. One of the biggest additions here is Epic Knights. This adds a huge selection of medieval armor and weapons, including different armor sets, weapons, shields, and steel equipment. And the best part is that you can create completely different medieval warrior looks instead of everyone running around in the same diamond armor. But this is where the fantasy side starts taking over. New Armor's overhaul introduces powerful armor sets with passive abilities, full set bonuses, and active abilities. So armor isn't just protection anymore. Some sets actually give you abilities that can change how you fight. Then, we have overhaul weapons, giving the combat system even more variety. And even the shield gets a visual upgrade with the round shield texture, which fits the medieval theme much better than the standard square shield. Combine all of that with Immersive Combat, and Minecraft's normal combat starts feeling much closer to an RPG action game. But a fantasy world wouldn't be complete without magic, and this is where a magic way comes in. This addon introduces more than 100 spells with different magical abilities and ways to cast them. You can create spellbooks, use different casting weapons, and build your own style of magic. You've got different types of spells, magical equipment, and even mage and battle mage armor. So you could be a heavily armored warrior, or completely switch playstyles and become a powerful mage. And this is where the Modpack really starts to feel like a fantasy RPG, because now you aren't limited to swords and bows. You can walk into a dungeon with a spellbook, face an army of enemies, and turn the entire battlefield into chaos. Now let's talk about exploration, because what's the point of having all this gear if there's nothing worth fighting? Dungeon Raiders adds new dungeons and structures throughout the world, along with new loot, weapons, armor, trinkets, and other rewards. So instead of simply wandering around looking for a village, you actually have reasons to explore. Then there's Nico's More Dungeon. This adds large dungeons filled with dangerous mobs, loot, and bosses. You can discover places like the Rats Dungeon, Zombie Dungeon, and the Deep Slate Catacomb, and you never really know what you're going to find inside. Then we have Alylica's Dungeons, which brings monsters, equipment, and content inspired by Minecraft dungeons into the main game. And this is where the Modpack starts becoming dangerous, because these aren't just structures you walk through, they're places you prepare for. You need better armor, better weapons, maybe some magic, and probably a lot of food. We also have Structure Expansion, which adds a huge variety of naturally generating structures, including medieval and fantasy locations. Village expansion helps make settlements fit the larger medieval world instead of feeling like the standard vanilla villages. But the real reason to explore all of these places is the loot, because eventually you're going to find something powerful enough to take on the bigger enemies. And that's where Soulcraft comes in. It adds a huge collection of new mobs, armor, weapons, and structures, including powerful enemies designed to make the world much more dangerous. And when all of these addons are combined, you don't just have a Minecraft world anymore, you have an adventure. And then we have the addon that ties a huge part of this experience together, Forsaken Odyssey. Instead of focusing on just one feature, it expands the world across multiple areas. New mobs, new items, new blocks, new structures, new survival content, and fantasy-themed exploration. It's basically another layer of content sitting on top of everything we've already added. And that's what makes it especially useful in this mod pack. You're not installing it just for one sword or one boss. It helps fill the world with more things to discover. So while you're exploring a dungeon from one add-on, you can encounter a creature from another, use magic from another, and eventually use all of that gear against something completely different. That's exactly what I wanted from this mod pack. Not a collection of addons, but a world where all of them actually have a reason to exist. And when everything finally comes together, this is what the world looks like.